Okay, let's jump right into it. Today, we're doing a deep dive,
Mm.
focusing on a really specific source text, an excerpt from William Boericke's Homeopathic Materia Medica.
That's right. And the idea is to really pull out what this specific text tells us about one substance.
Which is Anantherum muriaticum.
Exactly. Also known as couscous or East Indian grass. We're just extracting the info from this one historical source.
Got it. So the text names it clearly: Anantherum muriaticum, couscous, East Indian grass, and Boericke. Well, he doesn't waste time giving us the headline, does he?
No, not at all. He calls it, quite strongly, a skin remedy of high order.
Right. So straight off, skin is central, according to this text.
Definitely the primary focus highlighted there.
But it's not just surface skin stuff, is it? He gives broader themes. I noted painful swelling of various parts going on to separation.
Yeah, pus formation.
And glandular inflammation. So skin, swelling, glands, kind of the big picture themes here.
Yeah, those are the general characteristics the text lays out first, sort of the underlying patterns Boericke observed or recorded.
Okay, let's get into the specifics then, because this is where these old Materia Medicas get, well, really detailed. What specific skin problems does the text list out?
So beyond that general painful swelling and the pus, you find things like abscesses, boils, ulcers, erysipelas, which is, a skin infection,
Right.
pruritus, that's intense itching, and herpes. But then you get these really specific, almost kind of strange details.
Like what?
Things like diseased and deformed nails
Let's-
and offensive foot sweat.
Diseased nails and smelly feet alongside boils and ulcers. That level of detail is really something.
It really tries to capture everything observed, doesn't it?
It seems so. Okay, moving upwards. What about the head? The symptoms there sound pretty intense from the description.
They're described very vividly. Boericke notes pins that pierce brain like pointed arrows. That's quite an image.
Pointed arrows. Yeah, that definitely sticks with you. And it says worse in the afternoon.
Specifies that, yes. Worse in the afternoon.
Are there physical signs listed on the head itself too?
Oh, yes. The text mentions herpes, ulcers, and even tumors on the scalp.
Okay.
And then it gets even more specific, like a wart-like growth on eyebrows.
On the eyebrows. Wow.
And boils and tumors on tip of nose.
Eyebrow warts and nose boils.
Ew.
Incredibly precise observations documented there. Does it mention the tongue?
It does, yeah. Tongue described as fissured, as if cut on edges.
Fissured, like cracked.
Right. And also copious salivation. So again, you see that focus on tiny details for different body parts.
Okay, so we've got skin, head, mouth. Let's move inward. What about the urinary system? What does Boericke note there?
The key thing seems to be constant urging, like really intense.
Fountains.
To the point where the text says the bladder cannot hold smallest quantity. It also lists involuntary urination and cystitis bladder inflammation.
And the urine itself. Any description?
Described as turbid, thick, full of mucus. So you get the sensation, the function, and the appearance.
Got it. Constant urgency, can't hold it. Thick, cloudy urine.
Ugh.
Okay. Now, you mentioned glandular inflammation earlier as a theme. What does the text say about sexual or glandular areas specifically?
Well, it connects the remedy to chakra-like sores and also a serous-like swelling of cervix.
Serous-like, meaning hard, dense.
Exactly, like a hard, almost tumorous kind of swelling is implied, a very specific type.
And the breasts.
For the breasts, it lists breasts swollen, indurated, so hardened, and nipples excoriated.
Meaning raw or sore.
Yeah, sore, raw nipples. And this really loops back to that initial mention of glandular inflammation and swelling, but showing up in these specific tissues.
Right, it ties it together. Does the text suggest any other remedies that might be similar? Comparisons?
It does. Under relationship, it suggests comparing Anantherum with Staphysagria, Mercurius, and Thuja, giving you reference points.
Within its own system, yeah. And finally, the dosage. What does the source recommend?
Boericke specifically notes the third potency, which refers to a specific strength of preparation in homeopathy.
Okay, so wrapping this deep dive up, just looking at this Boericke excerpt.
Yeah.
Anantherum muriaticum, or couscous, comes across primarily as this major skin remedy.
Definitely.
High order, but also linked to painful swelling, pus, gland issues. And we saw that incredible detail. Diseased nails, offensive sweat,
Those arrow-like head pains.
the fissured tongue, constant urinary urging, the specific hard swellings. It's quite a picture.
It is. It really paints a detailed portrait of the symptoms attributed to this one substance, at least within this historical context. It makes you think, doesn't it? About the process of documenting all these specific.
It does. What does it tell you, the listener, about that drive to map out ailments and potential aids with such, well, granular detail back then?
A fascinating question to ponder.
Absolutely. So that was our deep dive into this specific snapshot from Boericke's Materia Medica, pulling out the key knowledge nuggets on Anantherum muriaticum as presented in this particular text.